Day 2 of Journey Back to Self. So yesterday I spoke about the totality that everything we experience comes from within, right? Because everything's part of the quantum field, right? Unified field. There we go, quantified. Quantum and unified. But most people don't understand this. So I would ask you to go back to early childhood with memories, and if you had a really horrific childhood, then I don't want you to remember things that are going to really trigger you and make you feel anxiety. But if you can remember a time that you had a pleasant memory as a child, like a small child, or maybe you and your friend were connecting in and speaking to that imaginary friend, or doing something where things felt magical, that's the essence of who we really are. We came here to experience joy and expansion, because if you look around you, and I want to show you, look at all these pine cones, right? Nature is abundant. You're not separate from that. There's the sun coming up. You are part of that. So it's not possible for you to experience lack in any area of your life other than your own mindset and belief systems. And this is what I meant about programming and conditioning from childhood. You, as a child, have primary caregivers that you rely on to take care of you. I think we're one of the only species that doesn't get up and start walking when we're born, like the animals, right? We are dependent upon those who are caring for us as infants and children. And everything we hear with language, with movement, gets into our psyche, and that becomes the programming. So for example, if you are a child before you have verbal speech, and one of your caregivers makes a movement, right? And it was something that was maybe unpleasant to you. Later on as an adult, when somebody makes that same movement, it's usually the person of that same sex. So for a man, if it was something his mom did, a woman in his life later on could make a movement and he will get triggered, but he doesn't know why. It's a deep-seated subconscious program. If you had language, then the words that are spoken could trigger you, right? And so this is how we operate. But as children, we come in with this blank slate. And if we were left to our own devices, we wouldn't be caught up in having all the things that kind of block us. So it's just basically learning to rewire the mind, realize what the blocks are, what have we pulled in as belief, because they're not yours to carry. And then releasing them and allowing what we want. Visualizing what we want. Our desires too, I love this. Our desires really, like the mind that comes in, the thoughts, the desires, that's a frequency. You're tapping into your higher self, right? Left on its own, and I've heard this from a lot of the thought leaders and many of the spiritual leaders on the planet, you don't really, as a human, have the ability to think thoughts. And you might go, what are you talking about? We have a mind, we have a brain. Yeah, but that's all downloaded from your higher self. This really is like virtual reality. So think about it like radio waves, right? If you want to dial 95.3, which is a great station on Long Island, that's the signal, but you dial 94.7, you're going to have static. You're not going to hear it. But as soon as you hit 95.3, boom, in comes the clarity, right? Your frequency matches, so then that thing comes in. Well, it's the same thing in life. But when the thoughts come in and you get this hit, what do most people do? Oh, that's a coincidence. They ignore it. This journey back to self is about helping you to remember your inherent divinity. So these things that are happening to you, if you're having a hard time, you can learn to release, unwind, and start to trust yourself. Because that higher self is the true version of you. This physical is just a snippet of that. But we're here in a very real experience to move through it. And the more grace, ease, and clarity that you have, the more good you can do on this planet and help others. So, day 2, journey back to self, tapping into the frequency that you are.